First of all, I have to thank you for having invited me at this meeting. And I thank everybody for the patience, okay? Because now I would like to say Kalispera, but probably we have to say Kalinikta, no? And I want to begin with a simple definition, okay? Finance is an ancient word. More or less, it has 1,500 years, okay? And the original meaning was a friendly settlement of a litigation, okay? I suppose that in this room, nobody now is going to ascribe the same meaning to this word, okay? So the point is what is finance, probably, but I'm going to explain very quickly what is ethical finance, okay? Ethical finance, I just put attention on 2 or 3 points, okay? I'm going very fast. Okay, first of all, ethical finance is aware of non-economic consequences of economic actions, okay? The ultimate consequence of this attitude is that, for example, Banca Etica, okay, in Italy is a member of the Committee for the Defense of Water as a common good, okay, as a public asset, or is a member of the Committee for the Defense of the Italian Constitution, which at Article 45, okay, affirm the natural right of citizens to associate themselves in cooperatives. And the other point that is important is that the access to finance or to credit in all its forms is a human right. Okay, probably today these are 15 years from this manifest, from the manifesto of ethical finance. Probably today we will speak about financial inclusion as part of social inclusion. Okay, probably a little bit less revolutionary than this sentence. Okay, and the last point is that ethical finance, okay, does not make any profit from the financial speculation. Okay, all the savings that an ethical bank collects must be lended to the real economy, and in particular to the social economy. Okay. Using some criteria, and now I speak just of one, that is a consequence of the first point, okay? The ethical finance is pacifist, okay? We will never lend 1 single euro to an enterprise, even a social enterprise, that is involved directly or indirectly in the production and trade of weapons, okay? As you know, Italy is one of the biggest world exporter of small arms, okay? And this, I think that if you are going to think about this point, this is really important. Okay, this is the discrimination between ethical finance and the mainstream finance. I go on. Transparency is quite important, and I explained it even before, after this point. Okay, the history of Banca Etica is quite simple in reality. In 1994, began a kind of crowdfunding, national equity crowdfunding, where nobody in the world used this word, okay? And internet was just a toy for a nerd, no? For a maniac. Nobody used internet in 1994, except for the USA Army. And in 1999, the bank opened its first branch. And the history, we worked in a peculiar scenario, a peculiar context, and I think that's important to remember 2 or 3 things, okay? In Italy was a peculiar period because there was the development of fair trade, organic agriculture, and renewable energy sources, okay? There was the growth of a consumerist movement, especially against the banks, because at those times the banks used a lot of undue fees, okay, that penalized their clients, okay, vexatory covenants. Today the situation is, in my opinion, is worse than in the 90s, but nobody is going to protest, and I don't know why. The other problem was that the traditional banking system did not finance the non-profit organization. This was quite strange because in Italy, for example, social cooperatives are really important, but not only social cooperatives. We have national associations with millions of members, okay? And the other point that was quite interesting, in my opinion, was the ascent of the no-global movement. Now they are dead. Nobody speaks of the no-global movement, but in that period it was very important. In my opinion, this was the greatest national fundraising in Italy. Okay? Even fundraising was a strange word in this period. Okay? So we had 22 national organizations and more or less 10,000 citizens that subscribe the equity required by the law. Okay? The amount was 6 million and 455 euros. Okay? We collect more than 7 million of euros. Okay? Today, Banca Etica is a reality with 17 branches, 27 financial advisors, 64 local shareholders group that for us is really important because we encourage our members to be active members, okay? To feel the ownership of the bank in the sense of accountability of the bank, in the sense of responsibility, to be active members. And now we are more or less 200 people. 207 is the real figure. Okay. Legal profile rapidly. Banca Etica is a cooperative. Okay. So we apply the principle of one person, one vote. Anyway, we are a popular bank that in Italy means that nobody can own more than 1% of the total share capital, of the total equity of the bank. This, that in other banks create a problem of governance, in other Italian popular banks, for Banca Etica is a guarantee for the internal democracy. For example, at the last General Assembly, the member of Banca Etica, our shareholders, have changed 8 members of the board of directors, 8 members over 13 persons. And now we have 7 women that are members of the board of directors. We are the only bank in the world with this characteristic in this moment. It was completely unexpected, completely unexpected. This is our structure. For us, the structure of control, of the respect of our ethical values is quite important. It's really important. The activity of the bank, I said, is to lend money to the social economy. Okay? In this moment in Italy, for social economy, we mean not only social cooperatives, okay, but even workers' cooperatives. Because the defense of the workers' rights, the creation of jobs for us now is an issue really important. Of course, this cooperative cannot build weapons, of course, cannot pollute, have to respect the rights of its workers, have to respect human rights, have to respect the equal opportunities, and so on. So we are going to restrict our market, of course. And I would like to answer to Marcel Smith, okay, about this, about the frailties of social economies, and about the ways you can answer to these frailties, okay? But I think that international, for example, the low equity of the social enterprises, okay, social cooperatives. For example, in Italy, associations are not obliged to produce any annual report, an official and audited annual report. Normally, the collaterals for a banking loan are low or are not or they don't exist anymore. So you have the need to build them, okay? You have to speak about social collaterals, or you have to build them in other ways, in not the traditional ways, okay? There is some points of the social economy that are quite dangerous. For example, the creation of employment at any price. This is one of the greatest risks for a social enterprise. And other problems now I am going on, okay? The other point that I like to point out, okay, we do a double evaluation of our loans, okay? Of course, we are going to evaluate the capacity of redemption of the loan, okay? We do a normal creditworthiness analysis, financial analysis, everything, okay? Analysis of collaterals. But the other one, this is a part that's important, like the first one, that is a social and an environmental analysis, okay? We are going to evaluate the impact of this activity on the environment and the society. We have this principle, participation, mutual aid and solidarity attitude, respect of the environment, transparency, equal treatment for women and men, and so on.